afternoon. This is Spirit Journey. And yes, I'm out and about again, and I'm by myself. Yeah, I left my doggies home. Have to get some things, some provisions. Actually, I have to get their dog food. And I usually get 4 packs, and it's real heavy. And I use my shopping cart. Yes, good afternoon, people. Yes, yeah. Yeah, so I'm just going out now. I didn't even have breakfast. And yes, I want to get some things for my dogs, their food. I have to get detergent. And I also have to get this, I want to get some cranberry juice. No, cranberry powder. And this Indian place in the city may have it. And they're all around the same vicinity. So some off. Yeah, I hope you all are doing well. And yeah, today is the second day of fall. I love the fall weather. And I have my fall colors, my green, my olive green. I'm into my olive green. I have on my earrings, my citrine and amethyst earrings. Yep, see them? Yeah. Have on my brown shoes. Yeah, I love earth colors. I love my earth colors. So I'm sporting, yeah, I'm wearing my brown suede shoes. I have my brown sweater. Hey, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I love green. I love green. Yes, good afternoon. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Feeling pretty good. And yeah, I have the sweater around my waist. So I didn't know how it would feel, but it feels pretty good. It's breezy, but it's okay. I have on long sleeves. And yes, I got my camcorder, my body cam. That is my favorite season. Yeah. Hey, Lightbearer, good to see you. Yeah. Yes, I'm just starting the stream now, about almost 3 minutes ago. Um, yeah. No, thank you. Thank
Yo,
you.
yo, what's up, man? Guess who's back?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my neighborhood. Yeah, someone wants to sell me stuff. I don't know. Well, anyhow, yeah. So, yeah, you're probably going to experience a lot of things. Lot of things are happening now in Manhattan. It's really a sad situation where I live. You have the very rich, and or I should say, the up and coming, and the super poor, both, and it really makes me sad. So, with that being said, as you see with my title of this video, this live stream, I want to talk about the presidential, possible presidential candidate for 2024. Yes. And it was confirmed this morning. I had an idea. Oh, wow, this is very bumpy. Yeah, I want to talk about this. I'm just going to wing it. I don't have any script or anything like that. And I hope you guys could hear me too. Yeah, let me wait till I get out of this bumpy part here. Yeah, bumpy. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, so I'm going to talk about, what I want to talk about is potential, again, the black community as a whole, and the presidential. Well, we already know, this is 2020 now. This is September 23rd, 2020, and it's approaching 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And earlier today, I was watching a video, and she said it out of her mouth. This is about Candace Owens. Candace Owens, she's known as the Black conservative, and she is now a registered Republican. She initially sported herself. I should say sported, but she initially was what you would consider what do you call it, a liberal slash Democrat, that type of persona, or her ideology. And then in 2016, because of this incident, she decided that she was going to be a Republican. So she was on I'm sorry, I'm with a lot of, to get through here. Sorry. Just going through a whole crowd of people. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, so what happened? The video that I saw with her today, she's been over the past, well, let me back up a little bit. Okay, well, it was roughly 1.5 years ago. It was right after the scandal with R. Kelly, the singer, and it turned out that some women came forward and said that they were traumatized by him. And in that arena, with some of the videos I was being recommended, were subjects on that. And this one particular video, was a young woman, beautiful looking, natural black beauty. And she's a guest on some show. And there was an audience, and she was teary-eyed. And she gives an account of what happened. And I just saw her presentation was phenomenal. Even though she was teary-eyed and everything, but I wanted to listen to her. And for her to be a guest on the show, I was thinking, hey, maybe there are other interviews with her. So I thought I got the name, and I don't know whether it's the same person. Maybe someone with it sounds silly to say, but I just know that the girl was on. I got a name, and then I get this, they look similar. So I'm not sure whether it's the same person, but because I can perceive her of discussing what she was discussing. But there was a video of Candace. She was on TED Talks, something like that, and she gave the story about her when she was either in high school or college. And it was very sketchy. But in short, her former boyfriend had convinced some of his buddies. I guess they had a breakup, and the ex-boyfriend and some of his buddies, when they were in the car, they said prejudiced things against her and wished her harm. She had it. They were dumb enough to leave the message on her answer machine or a voicemail. She gave she sent the message to some college, to some people. I think it was the people in her school, the officials in her school. Either way, they tracked down the 4 guys who left a hateful message, and that's basically what it was. Oh, and then as a result of that, now the guys, the officials said all the right things. They said all the right things. Sorry, there's hardly any light on the other side. Yeah. She said, the official said all the right things. And it said it was horrible what happened, blah, 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 right? But she didn't like when the official, Candace didn't like that the official said that she was a victim. And she spiraled downward in depression and became anorexic. No, either bulimic or anorexic. And that lasted for 4 years. It traumatized her. Then eventually, one thing led to another, and she got into the politics and, don't act like a victim. So that's basically my first introduction to Candace. So when I watched her, watched several other videos with Candace on, I was amazed by her. I love what I saw. I love that she was a confident black woman, beautiful, bold, all those things. And I said, what a refreshing thing to see. Because as you see where I live, the blacks aren't doing that well. It's a real sorry sight. It's horrible. So it's a breath of fresh air when I see a polished black woman speaking so, confidently and not cursing. And I wanted to find out more about her. I was completely amazed. I said, yes, I like this. So I watch her on and off. And then I stopped watching, I got interested in other things. And then now, for 2020, I see that I've been recommended her videos. And something told me. I said, I sense that the way she talks now, I sense something. And I sense that she is going to become a candidate. Excuse me? Hey, excuse me, please. Thank you. Excuse me. Hi. Sorry. I sense something more that meets the eye. I started seeing that she was being invited to other major YouTube channels and speaking very boldly, and they seem to really like her. But I don't know, so I started questioning certain things. And today especially, just something was telling me that, I remember, it could have been yesterday or the day before yesterday. I was watching a YouTube video, and the YouTuber was discussing Candace and that she got married. I said, well, and she's expecting her first baby. I said, wow. And I was thinking, I had certain thoughts, that's all I say. I don't want to say what I thought when I heard that, but I was happy for why she got married. And a baby on the way. I think she's about 6 months pregnant. But I was thinking, I was curious to know who her husband was. And I found the video today on, she was a guest on a show. The show was sponsored by Liberty University. She, her husband, and another couple were on. They were in an audience, big audience at this university. It looked like a big place. And there they gave a detailed account about the marriage proposal, and that he proposed to her. And I am a romantic at heart. Yeah, he described how, he was fascinated by her speech. She spoke at some event. It was either Florida or someplace in Europe. I think it was someplace in Europe. And she spoke against communism or socialism. And the guy was really enraptured by her. And he followed her back to the U.S. mainland. And I guess in that 2.5 weeks, they were in communication. And he was at the airport, he said. And he said, I wanted to tell you something now before, in case something happens on the plane. So she's like, I guess concerned. He said, I love you, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me? And of course she said yes. And she elaborated that she liked him, that the two seemed to hit it off well. And she seemed kind of shy. She didn't really want to reveal her true feelings, and it seemed to be mutual. And I guess the chemistry was just there. But I'm happy for her that someone, old-fashioned and proposed. It was a nice little story, and they give this account at this Liberty University. It's a Christian school, and my intuition was correct. There's all this talk, like she came out of nowhere. Again, I just learned of her. It could have been early last year in 2019, and I just sense that she's not just a regular YouTuber. She's something more. And from her very first video on her was, Mom, Dad, I'm a conservative. And that video, I think, has 3 million views. I watched it several times myself. Someone else had uploaded her video because I found out she had a website. But when you watch a video, it has like an indication what you've seen or not, and it doesn't indicate that I watched it. So someone else must have uploaded that video also on their channel. But either way, I did watch it several times. So in this Liberty University, she and her husband. The video was with she and her husband at the university. Was done last year in September 2019. It was a week after their wedding. Yeah. Candace and her husband, I think his name is George, got married August of 2019. And a week later, they become a guest on this university. It was a very good interview. Really nice. I enjoyed it. And in the conversation, she says, because now that they're newlyweds, and she said that she had lived 7 years in New York, and she doesn't want to stay there. It's changed since the past 10 years, and that they're going to be looking into places to live in D.C., Washington, D.C., and that something about should be going to the White House. Something about the White House. Then one of the guests on the stage with her says, "Oh, and you're not old enough to be president." She says, "I'm not old enough now, but in 2024, I will be," she says. So, I my confirmation, my intuition, I should say, was correct, and that she will be running for office. So she could possibly run, start getting in the government like a Senate seat or maybe Congress, right? So, I mean, I'm excited. I'm very excited about it. See, I just felt in my bones that this is a special person. When I first saw her on YouTube about a year and a half ago, I knew she just wasn't just another YouTuber. Uh, and I knew that someone was, what's that word, was behind her. So yeah, even back then when she did her very first video, it was very professionally done. And I mean, I don't know her, her technical skills or whatever, but it just seemed like something that for a first time YouTuber, your first video. I mean, it could have been just her, but my instinct said, even back then, it was like in the back of my mind. I said, I think someone is sponsoring her. It's passed on, and her interviewed by all these different people. I said, someone is representing her. She's part of a law organization. But who? And when I did check online, that PragerU means Prager University, so I guess a college. Yeah, her current YouTube channel, is sponsored by Prager University. Then I checked online, this PragerU, and she and one other black person, I think his name is Larry, an older black man, only those two, and the rest of the people of that organization are white. So that also confirmed that she's being backed by larger groups. She's not being backed by black folk. Now, again, there's nothing wrong of being involved in any organization that has black people for, goodwill for us. But I'm just, see, I'm a very feely person. I look at different cues, and again, love can come from all different things. And he was man enough to ask her for marriage. But I'm concerned about her affiliations. Because again, she started out more on the liberal, and she was again initially anti-Trump, but because of this scandal thing happens, she changes her mind. She gets invited to speak for mainstream YouTubers, got an opportunity to meet the president. So if that's not like just a regular YouTuber like myself, for those who are watching right now, I thought it was something more, and that's why I said, I think she's going to go into politics. People just don't embrace people for the sake of just embracing them. People these days are savvy. People these days are very political. It's very political times. And people are not into like relationships. People are about business. When I say relationship, I mean like boyfriend, girlfriend, having fun, hanging out. People in power want to know what you can do for them or how they can use your influence for their agenda. And that is the essence of what I want to talk about now. Now, there's nothing wrong. I mean, if you join any organization you want to be a part of. That is your business. Whether you want to be sponsored by Republicans or Democrats, they're both the same coin. They're just opposites of each other. Same coin, just opposites. One's head, one's tail. So I also found out she started Brexit. It's like a spoof on the name Brexit, with Britain removing itself from the European Union. So Brexit is about Black Americans leaving the Democrat Party and to vote Republican or become a Republican. Now, I've never been a member of the Democrat Party. I've never been interested in them. I'm not a political person per se. And I did vote for Trump. I did. And and I think I'm most likely will vote for him again. I'm definitely not going to vote for Joe Biden. No way. No way. No Joe. But most likely it will be Trump. So, sorry, what street is this? Oh, okay. On the right street. Oh, wow, my battery's dying. So I have to take off my earplug because it's going to go out. Yeah, I can't say. I guess it's using a lot of juice. Yes, I have to pull out the plug. So I hope you can still hear me. Yeah, I just plugged in the battery. Can you guys still hear me? I had to pull out the plug. Sometimes when you pull out the speakers out of the device, it interrupts with the audio. So just type in yes if you can hear me. Okay, just type in yes if you can hear me. You can hear. Okay, great. Just putting my stuff away. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So my concern is that, see, these days people are very strategic. People want to say that they're about you, that they want to use your power, they want to use your influence. And politics now want to pair themselves with members of our organization, members of our race. I forget the other couple. There was somebody else. There's an interracial couple. But again, this is not about what do you call it, mixed race couples. So it's not being anti-black. You date, you marry who you feel like. Okay? But I'm concerned about people. It's like Black America is the politics and the attention getter. If you want to become something, pair yourself with a Black person. And I wish I could remember who that other person was.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh, I remember. She plays tennis. Serena. Yes, Serena has been in the public eye for many, many years. She and her sister Venus. and she was pursued by a white guy. I'm not sure what his nationality, if he's American or not, but he's a co-founder or founder of Reddit. And he marries her. And they have a child together. So I'm happy that someone put a ring on her finger. Also, so they married influential guys, both of them, Candace and Serena, and more power to them. They seem to really love their mates. You know, I'm happy for them. But it seems like what is making some white men align themselves with these ladies? She's amazing. Okay. Yeah, Serena, more power to Serena. They criticized her initially, but I'm concerned. Are we being used? I'm just being real. I'm being real. Are we being used for their power? That both of these ladies were ladies on their own. They were already in a seat of power, seat of influence, and were looked up to. My concern is that are we just being courted because they have an agenda, gender politics? That these days, because there's more people on this planet now, and people are very eager to obtain notoriety, and that to be just a regular, pairing yourself with just a regular person from your own community, you just all blend in. But to have a black person by your side, it's a definite attention grabber, right? You'll get more attention, good or bad. Both for energy and both energies to be exploited. So, it was made mention about the Democrats being the Democrat plantation, referring to slavery in America. But this is what my warning is. My warning is, like I said, the Republicans and the Democrats are the same coin. And right now the politics is to use blacks because it's popular. It's a popular topic. And you have the race riots now in these many cities, and the killings, right? And politicians are exploiting this social environment. So now it's profitable to use this crisis for a political agenda. And I don't want us to be exploited. And so we have an election coming up for this year in about 6 weeks from now. So about 6 weeks from now, it's going to be an election. And people get desperate during elections to promise things. And I don't want another Obama, I did vote for Obama the first time, not the second time. And I don't want people to take our vote and then forget about us. I guess I'm still hurt about that with Obama. So, I'm not crying, I just had some in my eye. So, I don't know what to think about it. So, I mean, I voted for Trump, and I'm okay with Trump. I'm okay with Trump. And most likely I'll vote for him. But in this 2024 election, See, I guess when you're going to run for office, it's always that period where you have to do something to become noticed. Like with Obama, he gets elected for Congress, not Congress, I'm sorry, Senator. He was in it for, I think, 2 years, or less than 2 years, and he was asked to be a keynote speaker at a major political event. And that was his coming out party, so to speak. Never heard of him? Nothing. But people were behind him. Powerful people were behind him. And he used the black community. In fact, he wasn't even born in the U.S. continent, mainland. He was raised in cultures so different. He was raised in Asia, and he was raised in the Pacific Islands. And there was no contact with black people. Only when he came to the U.S. mainland in Chicago, did he start to meet key figures in the black community, and he hooked up in this black church. And that's how he guided our community. So now you have Candace Owens. And she essentially comes out of nowhere, and she's being backed by powerful individuals. And then to know someone for 2.5 weeks, and he asked her for marriage, and they never been on a date. So you don't have a date with the guy, and the guy has a good job, and his father is connected, and he's from Britain. And again, she doesn't have a college degree, but people want her to be a guest speaker. And in some organizations like these sororities, American sorority organizations, you can't even speak on behalf of the sorority if you don't have a college degree. The person said, I forget which sorority, and the person said, well, wait a minute, maybe if you have at least a master's degree, you might be able to speak, or something like that. So here, she doesn't have even one degree. She did drop out of college after her junior year. And so how is it that somehow she's able to jump from college, drop out? And nothing's wrong with that. I had dropped out of college many times. And then I finally graduated. It took a long time. I have 2 degrees. I have an undergraduate degree and a master's degree. But I'm not being asked on any political show. So I don't understand. But it makes it clear now that I think from the very beginning, with the incident that happened to her when she was in high school, the thing with her former boyfriend, I think a series of events were done. And it's like, I think in life you have what they call a trauma. A trauma occurs. And for her, that was her trauma. She is getting paid for what she is doing. Yes, she is. When you go on Wikipedia, and it talks about, it has a bio of her. And I read it this morning. And it's different organizations. So, there are different organizations, and one of them, I forget the name, not PragerU, but another organization. I forget, but either way, they asked her to represent the urban something. It's a code name for black people. So she has no degree, and a white organization wants to utilize her to represent basically the black world, the black America. And it's confusing. You have YouTubers who've been around for years talking about black people. Many YouTubers. But they're not being asked. That's what I'm getting at. I mean, she's a highly intelligent woman. Highly intelligent. I'm not trying to slam her. But all things being equal, if you compare oranges to oranges, why are they utilizing Candace, who's a newcomer, and not some of the other black speakers on YouTube? Why is this? Well, she's been selected, period. And there's a whole world, I believe I think when we're born, okay, she isn't even, okay, I just read your comment. Okay, her father, I'm sorry, her mother's, she has a mother, and she was a single parent. And that mother has parents, and she was told to move to her grandparents, her grandfather. So her maternal grandparents, she lived with them. One grandparent is from the South. I forget what state, I forget. And the other one is from St. Thomas. St. Thomas is a part of the U.S. It's a part of the U.S. It is a territory of the U.S. So she is a U.S. citizen with that. But either way, she was born. But again, it's just it just doesn't add up. Oh, what I was gonna say. Yeah. She's an American. She lived with her mother was having a really bad time, and she was getting in trouble. And her grandfather, her maternal grandfather, asked for her to come live with them, to put some order in her life, and it worked. But why are certain people selected over others? I believe, my theory is, when we're born, people know right off who's going to be with them. They already select, I believe, again, I'm only speculating, but I believe that when we're born, we are selected to become certain things. And they'll even set up a series of events, good or bad. And Candace said, her boyfriend and her boyfriend's friends did a trauma on her. Really nasty remarks they left on her answer machine. And she spiraled to downward for about 4 years in her anorexia or bulimia. Both are dangerous, whether you're anorexic or bulimic. Very dangerous behavior. And that lasted, she said, for 4 years. So that's what her initiation was. And I think to become something like a president, you have to go through an initiation. Trump had his initiation when his mother got sick when he was a little boy. And then she was in the hospital, I think, for a year or something, or a month. But it was a long time, and he was just a little boy. And then he was forced to go into military school, and it affected him. So it seems like it's always some type of trauma, something that shakes you. You are not my God. Okay. Yeah, so she becomes, so now with Candace, early on, I think it was in 2007, the event that happened to her happened. And then somehow she was getting into, did a website or something, but it's very political. And then, fast forward to 2016, she because of the website she started. Oh, the website she started was something that, like, let's say you're on social media and someone says a bad comment to you, you know, with the called trolling. It's correct. Yeah. So what if? Yeah. So what if someone sends bad messages to you? You take a screenshot of it and then you send it to her. And it was to be like a database of people who shame others. And then what social media did to her, they sent out her personal information on social media, exposing her. So she realized that it was the what do you call it? The liberals that were behind that, and so she decided to become a conservative. That's what happened, according to the Wikipedia. So my main message here, 'cause I'm going to be almost finished with my journey here. My main concern is that there's always something behind something else in American politics, and that a man that she hardly knows after 2.5 weeks, and again, it didn't go on a date. They spoke, I guess, at the lecture together, and that was it. So why the expediency in all this? Why? You have to ask yourself why. Again, I'm a romantic also. So there's nothing wrong with that, but rich white dudes from Britain don't have a habit of selecting someone that quickly. Because they have to work quickly, because to get in the White House, you know, it seems like in American politics, you have to be married with a kid. Don't you notice that? All the, yeah. Well, oh, she is, okay, her husband now is on her YouTube channel. Yeah, I saw the thumbnail of it. Yeah, so you can just go on her YouTube channel and you can see the husband. She does interview her husband. So you have to ask yourself questions. And so she's being put in the international arena. So they have to introduce her to the world. So she's asked to speak in Europe, Asia, and then now with her international husband. Her husband is a citizen of Britain. He's from London, born and raised there. He's an Ivy League graduate. Yes, thank you, Light Bearer. Thank you. Yes, she's being used, and they're using our colors. See, I'm going to stand here for a minute. See, they're using what she is, her face, to promote an agenda. Again, I could benefit from that agenda also. It doesn't mean that it's bad, but it's not our agenda. And if she is a part of, if she started Brexit, my question is, how come, if it's to get black people to vote Republican, how come she doesn't have other black people working with her? Why? So that is a major issue I have with her. Again, you can talk and be friends with anyone who you want to be friends with. I'm not trying to tell you who you should be with, but I'm just asking you to question why, if you start a Brexit, a black movement, you should have black people in your movement, right? So they see that she has a lot of influence, and now they set her up with a British fellow, and again, so you're gonna, you know, she already said in the interview to continue her to shut her up. Yeah, thank you, Lighter. Yeah, so people are using her. She is highly intelligent, but I'm just thinking, my whole being is one of anxiety. on the surface, everything seems pale. But I know it's not just innocent. I know it's not innocent. I know it's not. And she did announce on Liberty University the interview. You can just Google Candace Owens Liberty University, and you'll see the interview. It was done last year in September 2019. And she announced that she's going to be moving to D.C., just like New York anymore. And she's going to go for president for the 2024 election. That's in 4 years. Yeah? So she's positioning herself. It's not by accident. That's what I'm saying. It's not by accident. Yeah, it's not by accident what she's doing. She is positioning herself, and to have her, see, you're always going to need, when you have a handler, okay, that guy is her handler. Let me just pass through here. So, okay. I'm going to stop by the business owner here. Okay, sorry. Yeah, we'll pull over a little bit. Yeah, just is quieter over here. Okay. She's being handled by people. She's not handled by anyone from the black community. She's being handled and observed by people not from her community. And they're positioning her for the White House. She's moving to D.C., she says. That's what she said last year. And it's a warfare, and it's a war in America, but utilizing black people. Her husband is white, and is he older? Okay, yes, her husband is a white man. I think they're about the same age. His father is from the House of Lords. I think that's some type of, I've heard of it, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. Is it a government body, or is it something with lawyers? I'm not sure. But he works in the House of Lords in London, England, and he's a college graduate from Oxford, and he worked for his father in like finance. And that's it. But he attends this thing that she went to, where she gave a talk about communism, that she's against communism, which is fine. I'm against communism also. I don't want it. I don't want communism, socialism, anything like that. And that's where he saw her for the first time. He met her December of 2018. What is he doing with her that is very tough? Yes, exactly. The husband, the now husband is, he seems like a nice guy. He seems like a very nice guy. But what is he interested in politics? And when you have an insider in another country, even though he's from Britain, from London, you can control somebody from the inside. So you attach yourself. He worked quickly, 2.5 weeks of knowing someone, to ask them for marriage. So they have to work quick. No college, no personality, no, he has a college. The guy has an undergraduate degree in theology. He said that's pretty much equivalent to a liberal arts degree. But she dropped out. So like I was saying with the sororities in the United States, you cannot be put in any major position to represent them without at least a master's, according to that sorority. Yeah, they're really picky. You're a black person, you better have your credentials. No, I said that about, yeah, that's what, oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, she doesn't have credentials. I have an undergraduate degree and a master's degree. I have more than him in degree. I'm just a regular person. Regular. I don't belong to any organization, any political party. But again, you have blacks here, black YouTubers, but they're not being asked. So, one YouTuber that is being asked in college, discussed. Their name is Silk, what do you call it? Silk and Diamonds. They are YouTubers who started out promoting Trump. When Trump first came out, they started their YouTube channel, I think at that time, to promote Trump. And they have been guest speakers, and they're older women. They could be they look older than Candace. Yeah. But they're being used to promote Trump. It seems like with the handlers that if you see the far right want, need to assert themselves, and so they're getting people like Candace. Well, that's sweet of you to say. Thank you, Liberia. Yeah. See, this video is not to attack her. I'm not about that, but I'm just about having the black community aware of what's happening, and that members of our community are being used by outsiders for their agenda. And is that agenda for our best interest? That is all what I'm saying. I'm not trying to attack someone, having a degree or no, I'm not here to shame anybody, but I'm about trying to have people aware of what's happening now. Because my instincts were correct, that she seems like someone who wants to go into political office. And when I saw the video today for the first time, being interviewed by the University of Inner Standings, what you all say, yes, that she announced indirectly that she's moving to D.C. and that she wants to be in the White House. So what more? And then the other guy is saying, oh, well, you're not of age yet. Just when 2024, she will be. So, and that's cool too. My other concern is that our handlers, why is it that with blacks in America, why is it that for us to be a part of anything, why do we have to have someone outside of our group to be our handler? I don't want to be handled by anybody but myself and members from my community. But see, if they're not from your community, why are they interested in you, and what are they going to do to help you? And it also seems like with the far right that you have to be pro-white. Nothing wrong with white people. But when you cannot be honest and say, racism does exist, it does exist.
I went
It does
back
exist.
March. I was
Do
there
I want to
March
dwell on it? No. But in my everyday existence, my growing up, when I used to be in the workforce, I encountered it. I encountered racism in the military. I encountered it. I encountered it with getting a place to live. And so, I don't want us to become handsome because someone asks you to marry them, that it doesn't exist. She earned her community. I feel that way. I feel the same way like you. Thank you for sharing that. I feel like she's cutting herself out of the black community, and that I I don't know. Again, she can marry who she wants to. It's not about who you know. And that's not where I'm coming from. But if you're about the black community, why aren't there other black people? You know, I'm going to push for you to reach. You're funny. You're funny. I just want to ask those questions. Why aren't there any other people really promoting her? Outside of now, there's Praga U. Praga U is the person that sponsors her YouTube channel. So here, she doesn't even promote her own channel. My channel is my channel. I started it on my own. It is my channel. There's no other organization. It's just me. So I'm really concerned. I'm serious. Yes, sweetie.
Sure. I gotta get up by you.
I don't want us to be used. I feel Obama. I feel Obama. He used the veneer again. He's brown skin. He gets a wife, okay, but has no connection with our community. None. He came to the black community at the age of 27. Everything prior to that is like a mystery. But he placed himself with this church, this very progressive, middle class black church. And that's what his initiation was into the black community. So we just have to be careful. Because they can, she can maybe, I think she'll run for office. I think initially she's going to run for senator or Congress, do her 2 years, and then run the ticket for, what do you call it, the White House. Yeah. And I think she'll win. I think she'll be the president. It will be our benefit. Oh, will it be? I hope it's for our benefit. I want our benefit.
No, the house is going to be ready.
I want all of
I
it. I don't want to be used like a puppet.
Which I sent you
Really angry. But if she's sincere about, see, I think also with the right or conservatism, I'm basically a conservative person, but I also have I'm a blend of both. I want reparations. I want that discussed as a ticket. If you're going to have with Trump, he didn't discuss anything about reparations for blacks in America. I'm a mix of both. Conservative for something and liberal in others. But I want the discussion of reparations to be major key. Just getting a white husband is not reparations. And I think that's what a lot of us are thinking. That because someone marries us from the white community, that's a no. Anything can happen in that relationship. Historically, once you are used, just like Princess Diana. Once Princess Diana fulfilled her purpose in creating an heir, she was removed, right? So like her, they'll use you to get a particular policy done. And once that policy is done or legislation done, then you remove it. Then you're not allowed to.
Would you like in the
Or then you have a back. Yeah.
I don't have any meetings.
So there's an agenda. And they want to pacify us and say, if we think the way she does, I think if I were Hudson, I'd probably, I don't know. No, I've always been a little, like I had friends, I had so-called friends like her. And part of me was about that. But in the back of my mind, because I'm born and raised here. The so-called friends I had that weren't born here, So their thing is just moving up the ladder, moving up the social ladder. On me, I see things that go on. I have many brothers, and I see what could happen to them. So I was always aware. So part of me felt that attraction of, wow, be pro-white. But I saw too many things in the black community. And now, especially living where I live now in New York City, I see all the garbage. And no one is helping. And to pretend that everything's happy because someone marries you that got money or had influence, that's not changing our community. But a true reparations package to address the wrongs that were done to a group that happened for generations. That's never addressed. The antebellum period in the United States was just for a brief period, and then Jim Crow happened. And the land that we did get, it was removed from us. They took it back. And where I live, you should see all the black folks where I live. It's awful. Awful. You saw when I first came on today, to do the stream, I was approached by this guy trying to hustle. And that's what exists here for me. This is my reality. It's like, how come if you have a powerful black woman, how come you don't have a powerful black man with her? And both of them form collective together. But that's not the case. It's not the case. Why isn't it? Why isn't it the case? And I think if you did have two black people forming collective, that it'd be, I think it'd be infiltrated. I think she's being infiltrated. I think, what's her name? What's her name? The one that married Prince William. I think she was part of it. It's that things just don't happen for a reason. They both had common friends, someone that they both mutually knew, and that person introduced Harry to her. Yeah, hey, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah, so things just don't happen. And so even that relationship with Prince Harry and, I forget her name, and his wife, that's all arranged. People are selected, marriages are arranged, and it's being arranged in the black community. So when you do have a successful black person, they're going to make sure they get somebody to intercept you and make it look innocent. 2.5 weeks of knowing someone, and then a rich guy, and ask you for marriage. That is by design. So they're going to try to get in the White House and try to infiltrate and be her candidate. So that guy would be her candidate. She came after me on my chair. Okay, after you get passed out. Okay. Yeah. See, there's something going on. Just, Prince Harry and his wife, she is being handled. And you know what happened to me? Boy, I'll be upset. Yeah, something happened to me once. I think I was being, someone tried to handle me, at least get in my business. I went, this was 4 years ago, April 1st. And I see a man, Caucasian man, staring at me. Young guy. And I noticed, and I just, played it up, sat down, and then started reading my book. He comes over, stands right next to me, and he asked me he had to go to the bathroom, and if I could hold his package for him.
Like Friday, or like...
No,
I'm thinking, why are we asking something like that? Hey, dear man, and just go to the back, just bring it along with you. They said, well, someone might take my chair. I said, I'll put my shoes right on the chair, and no one's going to take it. So he leaves. He was gone for maybe, I think, an hour. He comes back. And, what books are you reading? To make a long story short, we talked the whole afternoon. This was around 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And we get something to drink there in the park. This is all in Bryant Park on 22nd Street between 5th and 6th Avenue. We talked for about 6 hours. He asks me for my number. I was a little shy at first. I said, okay, let me just give you my number. And then he gave me his number. He texts me later on that evening, that same evening. To make a long story short, I don't hear anything from him. I text him back right away. I can't figure it out. I'm blocked on his phone. So I think, I don't know what it looked like was that that someone's trying to set me up. Again, I never met this individual. He was sitting way over on the other side of the park. But I noticed him. I sit down and he wanted to give me, I almost forgot. When he asked me to hold this little bag, this little plastic bag, it was a dark bag. He said, oh, there's nothing bad and there's no blood in it. So he says, see, take a look inside. How many of you are sitting down minding your own business and some white dude, young white dude, approaches you and asks you to hold something for him while he goes to the bathroom, and again, you don't know him? And he says, oh, take a look in there. I don't need to know what's in somebody's bag. And he, what do you call it? When you block someone on the phone? Yeah, he blocked me on his phone. He approached me. He gets my business. He asked me for my number. I gave him my cell number. And it was a brief texting between us. And then boom, right up. I think a year later, I was just thinking about something. Yeah, when is so-and-so still around? So I just gave him a brief text, and I'm blocked. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not a real political person. This is what you see. This was in 2016. And yeah, April 1st, 2016. And this was weird. I think he was trying to set me up. Again, I don't know her. I'm just a regular person. I think he tried to set me up when they, I don't know, maybe. I don't know what to think about it. I don't know. Don't hear from him. Yeah, he was a young fellow. He was 36. He was 36 at the time. So who knows? So all the thing I'm saying, again, nothing wrong with interracial dating marriage. Who loves you, you love them. But just be careful. Just like I had to be careful with someone that I didn't know wanted me to hold something for them. Be careful. Some people want you to hold their agenda, and once it becomes fulfilled, they leave you. That's all I'm saying. Be careful who you have in your inner circle, and be careful who you bring in within the black community. You have outsiders who want to, what they do, they'll send honey traps within our community to spy on us. It could be innocent, but just think, later, how many of you get proposed in 2.5 weeks and you haven't even gone on a date? Just be real. Because she's a beautiful person and the guy is a handsome guy. But she has handlers. There are plenty of other YouTubers that are interested in the black community. Plenty. But why her? Again, nothing wrong with her. There's nothing wrong with her. She's, who I would like for president, if it's going to be a black person or a black woman, Condoleezza Rice. I like Condoleezza Rice. That's who I would like. I would So that's basically all. I can't think of anything else. Basically, in short, my message is be careful who you bring in your inner circle. Be careful of people's motive. Be careful of people outside of our Black community that is so interested in sponsoring. Yeah, how you doing, Cam? Yeah, I'm just about wrapping up this video. Yeah. Yeah, just be careful what you bring on, because they could have an agenda and use you as a handler. Who else had a handler was Martin Luther King Jr. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was being handled by this other guy. He was a member of the homosexual community and was encouraging him to not use violence in his civil rights movement. Yeah, and towards the latter, he was thinking about doing social disobedience, as he put it. Yeah, we're being handled. And sometimes we're being handled by brown-skinned people and sometimes white people. But in the end, the outcome is the same. We're stuck in our communities, we're stuck in poverty and despair.
It's in the box.
Yours is in my
In
box.
the Black community, I want personal excellence in our community without being handled by outsiders. Yeah, I want us to prosper, to be healthy, well-being minds. Yeah, that is for me. I don't need an outsider to do that for me. I want us to do it for ourselves, so we can, share the glory with among ourselves, and not give the glory to some outsider. I mean, peace and blessings to them. They're expecting their baby, I think in 3 months, something like that. I'm happy. She seems very happy. More power to them as a couple. But again, not everything that looks like gold is gold. Just thank you, Mike. So that's me. I have to go continue on with my shopping. I just went to pick this up and share this. Yeah.
Trump was heard on tape.
Again,
saying that
leave your comments below. Share this video with friends, family members, and you could support my channel I have a PayPal link. You'll find my PayPal link on my channel, Spirit Journey, and on the left side of the banner, the right side of the banner, you'll see my PayPal link. Just click on it, follow the rest of the prompt. Any amount will be greatly appreciated. I thank you in advance for blessing me with that offer. Thank you again.